Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. Today in this video we've got oil for the motor, engine oil, and then we've got transmission fluid here. I am waiting for the new rubber gasket. This is ATF MPH semi-synthetic. So right now we will do the oil. So whilst we do that, we've also got a new oil filter. So we're going to put new oil filter with new oil. This is how to change your oil and your oil filter from home. Step number 1. Start your engine, get it warm. You want to do this for 5 to 10 minutes. Then go to your engine bay. Identify where your pan is. Your pan has a bolt. That is your drain plug. You want to loosen your drain plug up with the correct spanner. You want to remove it without getting too much oil on your fingers or on the concrete. Let that drain, let it sit for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Clean the bolt, check for burrs on the bolt, then identify where your oil filter is. That's where mine is, passenger side, that white little dark thing. That is your oil filter. That is where the oil goes in and any contaminants get through.
Nope, not big enough. Not big enough? Nope.
Inspect the oil that has come out of your car. If it's black and smells like burnt, it should have been done years ago. And if it's good, a good color, doesn't smell burnt, then your engine oil was probably fine, but it's always good to change it. It's so black, so filth. Get a new crush washer, copper washer. This is for sealing purposes for your drain plug. Look at that dirty oil filter and look at that brand new oil filter. Wow, what a difference. Anyway, when you're gonna put it back in your car, you need to put oil on that new rubber seal. Get engine oil that you're putting into the car and rub it around. Yep, massage it around. Perfect. Now go put that on. It's about a 40-second job. Just a little bit more than hand tight. Don't do it too tight. Put the correct amount of oil in your car. Go down, search online. Go talk to Autobahn. Correct oil for your Ks, for your car, it all matters. Speak to a professional. Now, time to fill it up. You got your drain plug on, you got your oil filter on. Be careful, use a funnel if you've got one. I just used the nozzle that it was given to me and not much flow was going through, so I ditched it. And I went freehand and I made a mess. So learn from your mistakes. Use a funnel, a clean funnel. Make sure you clean it too. Now, once you've done this, clean up your mess. That's what I had to do. And if you don't have a mess, bang, good on you. Let it sit for a little bit, then check your dipstick. Make sure it says it's around the full mark. You gotta remember, this liquid expands when it's hot. So you need to make sure not to overfill it. Now, you wanna run the motor, and this is the crucial part. Look underneath your car, and if you see any drops of oil, you've done something wrong.
Well, no shit.
So anyway, you've done that. Let's just say it's all is working well. You've ran the engine. There is no oil leaks. I am more than happy to say that you have successfully done and completed an oil and filter change. Well done to you, my follower. Well done. If you have ever done this, put it in the comments. I want to hear about it. If you've ever screwed up, put it in the comments. I want to hear about it. This is the power steering fluid. We've got the Penrite Premium Mineral. That is where my power steering pump is. That was before I filled it up. There was literally nothing in it when I bought the car. See that little dot? That is what you want to fill it up to before you're running it. So before it's hot. So fill it up to that dot. The power steering fluid will expand. You want 2 people for this job. I only had myself. You want someone watching the power steering pump for when you're turning it. Go into the car and full lock every single way. So go full lock to the right, full lock to the left, and do that literally a dozen of times. You want to continue doing that. You want to get the power steering pump, you want to get it to work, and you want to make sure that the power steering fluid, the other person there, doesn't overflow. And then once you're doing all that, once you've done the 12 turns, go and check the dipstick and make sure that it's around the full. If it's a bit below, add a little bit, not too much. And that's it. That's literally all you need to do for your power steering. We are onto the transmission, getting the pan, gasket, and the filter out, cleaned, and replaced. So what you want to do is, just because I've just done the power steering, the transmission is already warmed up, and it's warmed up enough. So I'm here now, I'm removing all 8 bolts. I'm slowly doing it, making sure not to on a slant. Keep it as straight as possible. It's held on by a metal bracket, and it's just sitting there letting the oil drain into the oil pan. I removed the gasket, removed the transmission pan, and now you can see the inside, you can see the transmission filter. Whilst you're under there, it's always good just to check for tightness on all the other bolts. So go ahead and do that, make sure they're all tight. Now this is what the transmission fluid looked like. It is terrible, a terrible brown, milky. So to me, that's indicated that water has gotten in, which is not a sign, whether or not it's from the gasket or from somewhere else. It is not a good sign. When you are using oil, you want to correctly dispose of it. And here I'm just pouring it into a 5-litre tin, and then I'll just take it to my local shop and they'll remove it. So this is the pan. You can see there's still a little bit of oil. You can see all the grime around the gasket. And then you can also see 2 magnets. Now these magnets are very important because they are there to catch any metal shavings that come from the gears or from the transmission. I checked them and there was no metal on them, so I'm pretty happy how the transmission turned up. But as you can see, the oil was terrible. Here's a transmission filter. The transmission filter probably has never been changed. The seal actually got stuck where you pop it up into the transmission, so I had to get a little seal pick and just pick it out. A metal bar that goes across to clip it in, that took me ages to figure out how that worked. I wasn't sure if I was going to break it, but eventually I got there. This is my first time doing a transmission service. So this is the Ryco transmission. It's a kit that you can buy. I bought it from my Hillside Performance center. They've always helped me. They're great guys. You can speak to Con there. I'll give their website down below. So it's for the BTR transmission. It comes with the rubber gasket, brand new rubber gasket, and the brand new filter. It also comes with an O-ring for adapters, but I didn't have to worry about that. It comes with the instruction sheet, and it literally tells you step by step how to do it. It tells you the torque setting as well as the sequence to torque. So it says here 6 Newton meters, and then you got 1, 2, 3 all the way through to 9. Cleaned up the pan, wiped it down, got it all nice and clean. So they're the before and afters, all grimy and greasy. So it's time to put the gasket on. I did put a little bit of transmission fluid, the new stuff, on just to keep it not drying out. So that's it. We've put all that. We've put the grooves in. Everything's correct. The magnets are to go back in. And now it is time to get the filter in. I've put a bit of transmission fluid on the O-ring, on the seal, in the filter, and I'll go underneath the car and I'll just push that in, and then the clip goes on. So once you've done with that, it is time to put the pan back on with the new gasket. So before I did that, I put all the bolts in. I cleaned them all up, checked them all. I put all the bolts in I pre-pushed them through the holes. I just held it up as best as I could. This was so difficult because it was just me and I only had a little bit of space underneath the car where I jacked it. But I got it in, and then I filled the transmission up with some transmission fluid, and it started leaking. So I had to pull it all apart, restart from the start, and I put a new gasket. I'm so thankful that I accidentally bought another gasket. The one I had in didn't look like it was damaged, but I just said for peace of mind, put the new gasket on. So I did that. I torqued it all back up to sequence, and then filled it up, and it was perfect. The transmission did not slip anymore. I had to get it running just to check if it was hot, just to make sure the level was good, and it was. So I'm very happy with that. So without further ado, transmission done, the engine oil is done, and the power steering pump is full. So we're at the part now where we're at the money invested. We're going to go through everything that happened in this video, and we're going to tally it up and add it on to episode 1. So first, episode 1 total was 3,485. Now we'll start listing what we've done today. Well, this video. Engine oil, that was honestly so straightforward. 1 plug. That's it. Fill it up. $60. Oil filter, $13. It was a little bit hard to get it off. I had to buy a wrench or like a oil filter clamp thing because the last person did not put on a hand tight. So remember, put on a hand tight. Copper washer. You always change your washers because they're like a one-hit wonder. You do it once and then you have to replace it. So $4 there. I had to go buy a torque wrench because it's very important that you correctly torque your transmission pan to spec, and that was to 6 or 9 Newton meters, I believe. I believe it was 6 Newton meters, and that was $50 from Sydney Tools. Window regulators, both front windows, they were cooked. They were not going up and down. The motor was busted. The cable was broken on one. I didn't record that. I just did it off camera. but that cost me $70. I bought them from Autobahn, so Autobahn's a savior. Transmission fluid. So I had to get the 4 liters, which was what the car took, and then I had to buy another liter on top because I broke the gasket. So that cost me $70 as well. We've got the Ryco kit that came with the transmission filter and the gasket. Then I had to buy a separate gasket on top of that because I broke the gasket, and that was $16. Fuel $100, and then miscellaneous $50. So the total spent on episode 2 was $346, and then the total spent on the whole car at the moment is $3,953. So that's where we're at. I just want to say a big thank you. I've got, as of today, 2,500 views on the video. I've got like 130 subscribers, which is just insane. So I thank you all for joining me in this journey, and I'll see you next time. We've got a good one. Next video I get scammed. And there's actually a little Easter egg for episode 4, so stay tuned for that. Thank you, Krim. One hit wonder. Thank you all for watching. This is the end of this video. There's a short clip at the end, but thank you all for the support. I had a lot of people commenting. I had a lot of people liking. I'm very grateful. So thank you all for watching and commenting, and I hope you all stay and follow the journey, because honestly this is the tip of the iceberg. I've already got the next project, or the next 2 projects lined up, so once this is done I will let you all know what's going on. In the next video we talk about how I got scammed. I hope you learned something. Oil, transmission and the power steering, I had really never dealt with these before this video. So I was learning as I was going. It probably took me a lot longer than what it should have. But now that I've done it, I reckon I could do it to any car. So if you want to give it a crack, it is not that hard. Really, you go to a mechanic, they're going to charge you $300, $400, $500 for a service. You can do it yourself in a day. And you actually learn something. So I definitely suggest trying it yourself, because you learn something out of it, you get something out of it. And this life, you're constantly learning, and the more you know, the better. So once again, thank you all for the support. I hope you stay, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. So far we have put a new battery in it. Every time I leave it sitting, I always like to take the power off. I've got a few wires I need to wire back in. Changed the relay, so there was missing one relay. I'm not too sure what it was for, but changed it. Faulty relay for the fuel, I think. Changed that. We've done a coolant flush already. Put water through the system, drained it probably 3 or 4 times. I've given this a big dig grease, because this was everywhere. It still needs a bit more. What else have I done? We had an aftermarket immobilizer that was put right here, and that was giving us some grief. Alarm was going on and off, and the horn, big issue. The horn is unplugged at the moment, because every time I put it on power, it just goes a as well as horn, we've got a brand new air filter in this box that we replaced, so it should still look pretty good. Yep, perfect Ryco air filter, I believe. It still has the old water for the wiper motors. That is one thing I do also need to change, is the wiper motors. And then also what I've done is I've had to replace this coolant and fuel pressure. Sorry, it's blurring up. Whatever this unit is, I've had to replace it, as the last one was cracking right underneath here. It was cracked, and there was also leaking coolant. So I've done that. I've changed out all the spark plugs. Spark plugs are all done. If you are watching this, this is a special message just for you. I had an accident in the LTD. Stay tuned for episode 4.